Hey guys, welcome to my book review of Light from Uncommon Stars. This book was a blast to read. I ended up going into this book mostly blind. I just saw a really cool cover and I did read about a page and a half of it prior to kind of wanting to buy it. But my girlfriend's been encouraging me to find more frugal alternatives to just buying books outright. So I've been trying to go to the library more often. With that in mind, I kind of held off on buying this book and kind of kept it in the tabs for a while. Until I was traveling to Utah, Salt Lake City, I saw this really cool bookstore. It was called Legendarium. And this bookstore was so cool. It was very fantasy and like medieval themed. You'd walk in, the first thing you hear, Game of Thrones music in the background. There was like a bunch of like small D&D trinkets. There was a lot of these cool decorations, these like steel metal chairs. These they sold wizard hats. They had decorations of like shields and swords, and it was such a vibe. I ended up talking to the owner as well, and I found like so many similarities. She went to school where my brother's girlfriend went to school in Berkeley. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt like so comfortable talking to this person in literally another states. And it just kind of opened my eyes to see that even across different states, and I'm sure elsewhere, we're a lot more similar than we think. And yeah, it was definitely one of the bigger highlights of my trip in Utah, which was really fun. And I really wanted a keepsake. So I decided to get the book as a keepsake and to help support the store too. Yeah, I was just enjoying the story that it was, not expecting there to be too much surprises, but I was hooked in this book. Whenever I would read it at like a bookstore, a coffee shop, my girlfriend would see me just like my eyes open, I would gasp, I would like nod, like as silly as it sounds, I was just super into this book. I really liked it. There were so many like twists and turns. And yeah, I was just expecting this one straightforward adventure, but there just showed so many different perspectives to different characters. I feel like it brought light to many LGBTQ issues, and it was just a great coming of story of this this sweet girl. So after you've read the book, I will add some tidbits that I really enjoyed about the book. So the first tidbit was I was not expecting the main character, I already forgot her name, Katrina Nguyen, to be LGBTQIA. I wasn't expecting her to have originally been perceived as a male. And I feel like the first time they described it was just like a flashback. Or I think a father kind of yelling at this child, this boy, and saying like, oh, you shouldn't be doing these things, you shouldn't be doing this. And then like eventually revealing that like all along this was Katrina and her experiences kind of being categorized for being perceived as a boy and wanting to be feminine. Like everything from like the beginning of the story, it was great. I also was super surprised. I think actually the first time I had that like big bump, like whoa, was I was expecting the story to like strictly be about Katrina. But early in the story, when they revealed that the little Star Donuts coffee shop, I was just like, such a wholesome story about this Asian family. They're just vibing. They like inherited this donut shop from like another family and they own it now, yada yada. And then bang, out of nowhere, they talk about like this spaceship underneath this like donut shop. And yeah, I don't know, it just, I was like, what's going on? I was like, so like, yeah, I don't know. It just like caught me off guard and I really enjoyed it. It just came out of nowhere. About like this level of fantasy inside this story. That seemed like it was just a semi-sci-fi. I thought it was gonna be mostly realistic besides like, you know, maybe just a curse or two. And yeah, it just feels like such like a burst of like freshness. It almost feels like that is like even more sci-fi than the regular story of the curse and like the Tremin Phillips and like his curse with Satomi. But yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool. I also loved how like both sci-fi elements, Satomi and her curse and like her like very like evilness or like very like just the vibe that she has. She's just very cutthroat. She like throws curses at people every once in a while. She's like very like, she has this like vibe to her, and I like how it contrasts, or it even surprises the shop owner, the captain. And yeah, I also the fact that like them two ended up kind of falling for each other as well. The shop owner, or yes, the captain slash shop owner and Satomi. I don't know. I just thought it was really cute overall. But yeah, I really enjoyed the book. There was a chapter or two kind of like near the end, kind of closing to the final performance, kind of before the final performance, that I was like, I was starting to have my own expectations on the ending. And for a little bit, I was like kind of leaning toward it's going to end a certain way to expected. But I feel like that was only part of a big climax that I felt like they let it seem like a certain way that I was starting to get disappointed with, and they ended it in a very unique way that like I wasn't expecting at all. Or was half, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. Like, yeah. Either way, I really like the ending. Yeah.